ما اي شيء ثاني.
مال خفاجي لازم تشوف.
لازم.
انسان معك.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you to this session organized by Al-Kindi jointly with the Initiative for the Ecosystem and Entrepreneurship in Iraq. I am Ala Alani. I'm the president of Al-Kindi Society for Engineers. We're going to speak in English because some of the guys or the guests are not familiar with the Arabic language. Al-Kindi Society, I'm just going to give you a short introduction about the society, and then we'll go through the agenda, or we go through the agenda first. Let's go through the agenda first.
You want the agenda?
Yeah, if you change that. That's it. Right. Okay. So the agenda for today is I'm going to give you a short introduction about the society. Mr. Aziz will give you an existing overview of the ecosystem in Iraq, and then we will go to Iraqi innovators, Iraqi entrepreneurship from Dutch perspective. I think Victor will give us a brief summary on that for Sami. Debates on types of incubators, and then we do the break. We might skip the break because we've already started late and we want to finish on time. The entrepreneurship, angel investors, Mo Al-Khafaji. Can you identify yourself because we're not familiar? Who is Mo Al-Khafaji, please?
He will appear as a video. He will speak to us as a video.
Okay. And then Mr. Aziz will talk about Swan Nest, and then we will summarize and so on. Let me go straight to the Al-Kindi Society. Al-Kindi Society established in 1994. Today we're celebrating the 25th anniversary of the society. Our main aim is to encourage and support engineering community. It's mainly Iraqis, but it's not limited to Iraqis. We welcome any nationality or any person who's involved in engineering. It goes slightly beyond engineering. It goes to IT and management as well. So we accept membership from people graduated from IT background or IT qualifications. If we just move to the second one. Right. This is part of a presentation which is very long, but I'm just going to pick like one or two slides just to give you an overview. We have set up this strategy for the society from 2017 until this year or next year. So these are main pillars of our strategy. So we're advancing education by creating knowledge and sharing innovation. And this is in line with what we are discussing today because we are supporting innovation and that is part of it. So increase engagement with professional community, other societies as well in the UK, and we have some activities in Iraq we did in the past, joint program, joint training, conferences, etc. Wider participation, we encourage women to get into engineering and be involved. We support students and young professional members through training programs and seminars on various aspects or topics within the engineering field. With regard to the collaborative partnership, we work with both academia and the industry, and some of you coming from the academic background, and we're very happy to be engaged with the academic community. as well as from the industry. So it's a variety or a mix of expertise. How many academic? I think I could identify 3 at least. 1, 2, just 3, and the rest are from the industry.
Yes.
Okay, okay, that's very good. And finally, the excellence in delivery, we try or endeavor to achieve operational excellence, agility, and financial sustainability. Maybe financial sustainability is hard to achieve all the time or to guarantee, because we are not for profit society, and we're a non-governmental society, so we rely mainly on the contribution of our members and the membership fees and so on. Sometimes we get support from various companies and so on, but that's not guaranteed. 1 year we get like a few £1,000, next year we don't get anything. So that's why our events, they go up and down depending on the budget available to us on that particular period. If we just move to the next one. These are our goals. So as I mentioned, we did like training, engineering consultancy, strong partnership with other societies and with the community in general. We try to hold some like world-class conferences, and we recently established the special interest group. Special interest group is stemmed out of the EC this year. The first one is going to be specialized or focusing on the oil and gas. So we have an event in January. We'll hold that. And this is like a group of experts within a field. They debate, they discuss, and they recommend certain recommendations to support that sector in Iraq mainly. So we're doing our best in order to really announce this and hold the first event with that regard. I stop here, and without further elaboration on the Al-Kindi Society, so just to let you catch up with the program. Well, thank you very much, and welcome you again, in this event, which will involve some debate and engagement and interactive session later on. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Are you holding a timing? Thank you for coming, everybody. Today we're going to do something, it's an experiment, okay? Most people here don't know each other. They're all connected with Iraq one way or the other. We've got the whole, we've got people here who have ongoing startup projects in Iraq, successful ones. We have people who work like me, who work on the entrepreneurship scene, trying to get a movement going on entrepreneurship in Iraq. We have people who understand entrepreneurship inside out, and as we go along, the introductions will happen. Just to let you know, for example, Ustad Munder here was for 10 years with the Qatar Foundation, so he's seen a project or two in his time. And I have Ali Makhzoumi, who's a young guy who's got a beautiful tourism project going in Iraq, and he runs it from Wales, and I don't know how he does it. Okay. I've got Sami, who you will meet, and he'll talk a little bit more. He's just driven yesterday from Rotterdam to here, and thanks for doing that. I'll get the first piece going, just so that we are all on the same page, as it were. really, it's a simple formula many countries use. We just haven't done it in Iraq for a long time. You've got problems, and you've got people with the brains that can solve those problems and turn them into projects. So it's a double whammy. We're solving a problem as well as making money from it. Making money means employment and jobs. So it's the go merry-round of economy started with entrepreneurship, and we're not talking here the traditional big business world. You know, we go and put an oil refinery somewhere and it'll employ 1,000 people or whatever. For that same money, the billion or whatever dollar you put into a refinery, you can do probably 10 times or 20 times more job creation through entrepreneurship. So that's something I believe in. So our goal, we've been trying to this will come in layers every time, and we'll get deeper into what we're doing. So we want to establish many startups because the problem size is very big, as you see from the demonstrations now in Iraq. Unemployment is reaching 60% for youth, and it's rising, not decreasing. So we are in need of an explosion of new projects, small business or entrepreneurial projects, to try to absorb these large numbers of people. So solving Iraq problem, and I think that speaks for itself. This is a quick historic view of what's been happening. Really, it all started around 2014. Maybe some of them, one or two things happened starting from 2012. I'm glad Ali is agreeing with me because he lived through this period in Iraq also. The grassroots, you know, the first people started to talk about doing projects. Youth started to get together, forming societies, groups, and they started to do weekends, a whole weekend dedicated to discussing projects and project ideas. And it really started like that. A couple of years later, more organized NGOs started to come into Iraq. And usually what happens, everything starts in Kurdistan and then it pulls through the rest of Iraq. So a lot of NGOs, because it's safer in Kurdistan, and there is one other reason, they tend to go there to start with. So a lot of the entrepreneurship movement started in Kurdistan, and then filters down into the rest of Iraq. So we started to have people like UNDP and hackathons, and there's about 10 or so names I can reel out of efforts, usually in the form of competitions. They do a big rara, they invite all the young guys and girls with ideas who want to do a project, and they do a little competition with them. And usually it's mixed with it some training, for a few hours of training. And then a committee of wise people decide these three are the best in these. They give them a big thank you sort of cups, maybe a few $100 or a few $1,000 as a reward, but never any funding for their projects. So these people turned Iraq into a go-merry-round. People, our young people with good ideas started to just hunt for these occasions just to go and win a few $100 every time, instead of actually doing their projects and executing them. So we didn't have something serious and something lasting. My own role in all of this, I'm trying to institutionalize everything. I want to go away from Iraq one day, leaving behind a machine, a well-oiled machine that creates jobs through entrepreneurship. My own the program is called Noah's Ark. I talked about it before. I've got some slides here, but I'm not here to plug it to make an advert for it. I'm going to tell you the whole ecosystem. You're free. Basically, we're trying to pull you into anywhere you want in that ecosystem to help us. In 2019, a lot of things happened. Actually, from the middle of 2018 onwards, there was an explosion of activities. A lot of people started to come into Iraq, do surveys, Stas Sami here was sent by the Dutch government. He went there and did a survey of the scene in Iraq. We've got the World Bank came down and had meetings with government, with people like me, and we ended up creating a group where we all are members of it. We still don't talk to each other, but at least we know each other's names. And those who talk about what they're doing is quite useful for the others to know what's happening. So we have such a group. This is what we call the ecosystem. It's just an American phrase for it. There are about 65 people there in that group, representing all kinds of organizations and NGOs and initiatives running in Iraq right now. There's been interest from diaspora because most of the expertise in entrepreneurship is outside Iraq, unfortunately. So we've been feeling it. People come in and try to do projects, they go usually to universities, they try to somehow get into the scene to help creation of, and that was happening and rising in its tempo until October happened. And now, this is the alarm bell. We've got to actually stop talking and doing all these wonderful competitions and whatever, and start creating jobs. And this is what this get-together is about. Okay. Just to, I don't know if any of this is readable. You will have my email, my WhatsApp, and all that later. Unfortunately, I forgot to bring my business cards. And I'll send you an image of this that you can enlarge at home and read it carefully. This is it's not even up to date, maybe a couple of years old, but it represents who's who in the Iraqi ecosystem right now. And my invitation to you is, wherever your expertise, whatever your pair of hands can help, just jump in. We're not or if you don't like what everybody's doing there, let us have efforts from the diaspora. Organize yourselves into a way, a certain way, to come in and work at a distance with Iraq. I will then, in my second session, I will explain how this can be done in detail. Sorry, this is at this point. I now stop talking, and let me introduce to you a project from Iraq, part of the ecosystem. Zahra Shah, and I'll put your presentation in a second.
Yes, sure, take your time.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. Hi, everyone.
Just hang on.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. Just imagine a London-born girl, she's young, you can see her, goes out on her own and do a project for helping entrepreneurship in the Gaza Strip. Wow, exactly. That's what I felt when I first met her. She then does that for a year or two, and then she goes to Erbil, joins a project called Recorded, which is about